up to?
Oh, hi. I'm trying to order some books from these online libraries.
Oh, I see. Are these sites better than the ones we use to order the chemistry books?
Yes, they are much better. They are cheaper, faster, and have a bigger book selection than the other site.
Good. Hurry up and buy the books. We need to go. The game will start soon.
Well, that's the problem. It was easier to decide on the other site. Look, my books offers better prices, and they have a bigger book selection, but it takes longer for them to deliver the books. Like 5 more days than the other one. The other one is Fast Books. It offers to deliver faster in 4 days, but they have fewer books available.
Okay, and on which of them are the books that you want?
That's another problem. Some are in my books, and some are on Fast Books. They are not all on the same online store.
So what's the problem? Get some books from one place and some from the other one.
It's not that easy. I need to order more than 4 books from each site to get free delivery. I want 5 books, but they are not on the same online store.
And how much do they charge to send the books?
My books is cheaper, just $1.99 per book. Fast Books is more expensive. They charge $2.49 per book, but they deliver in 4 days or less.
So let me understand the situation. My books is cheaper than Fast Books, but Fast Books delivers faster than my books. And the books that you want are not in the same store. You want some from Fast Books and some from my books.
Yes, that's the problem.
What about the old site, the one that we used to buy our books before?
Well, that one is less expensive. It has a bigger variety of books, and the webpage is friendlier, but it doesn't have one of the books that I want. It is on my books and Fast Books.
Simple. Order from the usual place and buy the other one from my books.
No. I will buy the other one from Fast Books. I want that book sooner. It is more interesting than the other books. But still I want to buy one from my books. It's cheaper.
Man, you are more complicated than the newspaper crossword.
Hi there! Before we start with our topic, there is something that you need to learn, and that is to separate words by syllables. Syllables. This is not as easy as in Spanish, but there are some basic things to keep in mind, and they are: say the word out loud, like when you say apple. What do you hear? Apple. Separate repeated consonants. That's why apple has 2 syllables. Remember not to pronounce silent letters like a final single E. Pronounce it home. The final E is mute. Do not count it as a part of a syllable. Never separate diphthongs. Remember that they produce just one sound, like in the word peace. Peace has just 1 syllable. You cannot separate diphthongs, and you have an E at the end. And last, but the most important of all, use your ears, not your eyes, to divide words into syllables. If you are interested in learning more about this topic, look for more explanation videos on the web. Hey there! Our video today is about comparatives. But what are comparatives? How do you use them? Okay, let's begin. Comparatives are a way you use when you want to show differences between things, or sometimes you want to point out similarities between things. Here is an example. My friend's car is faster than mine. See how I use the adjective fast and transform it into a comparative by adding ER at the end? Well, that's what you do when you want to use 1-syllable adjectives. you add er to them. Apart from that, you use the conjunction than. You use than to compare to whom or to what you're referring. Something like this. He is taller than the girls, or the girls are shorter than him. Cotton is lighter than iron. Okay, those are the basics. Now let's really learn how to use comparative adjectives. There are some rules to keep in mind when you use comparative adjectives. Let's go over them. When you have one syllable adjective and you want to transform it into a comparative, you add er at the end like this. Fast becomes faster and cold becomes colder. Remember that you cannot say more fast or more cold. When you want to compare, that will be a mistake. You do this with all the one-syllable adjectives. You add er to the end to transform it into comparative. Now, when you have a two-syllable adjective that ends in the letter Y, you do the same that you did before with the one-syllable adjectives. You add er at the end. So, in this case, we have pretty, which is a two-syllable adjective. Do you remember the previous video about syllable division? Well, this is where it comes in handy. Pretty plus er becomes prettier. A clean city is prettier than a dirty city. Happy plus er, happier. The children are much happier today than they were yesterday. Now we have the adjectives like humble and simple. They end in ble or ple. In this case, just add the letter r to the adjective, and there you have your comparative. So it becomes humbler, like in this case. People used to be humbler before. Nowadays, everyone is too proud. The same goes for simple. These math exercises are simpler than the ones on the test. One last word ending that you need to keep in mind is OW, like shallow, shallow. Two syllables there. Shallow becomes shallower. During summer, rivers become shallower than in winter. With these two-syllable adjectives, you can also use more. You can say more pretty, more happy, or more shallow. Also, there are other two-syllable adjectives you can use er with. You will need to do a bit of research on your own. Okay, now what about the rest of the adjectives? Well, with the rest of the adjectives, you use another adjective, more. Like with common. Cellular phones are more common today than they were 10 years ago. Or important. Practicing English by speaking is more important than just learning grammar rules. Okay, this is the point where I must tell you that there are some irregular comparatives. Yes, I know what you're thinking, more grammar rules. But now these are just special. Good becomes better. I like good coffee. Hot coffee is better than cold coffee. The weather today is worse than it was yesterday. If there is a little conscience in you, you will use less plastic bags. That will help the environment. There are always much hurricanes in the Atlantic Ocean, but this year there were many more than last year. Girardot is far from Bogotá, but Cartagena is farther than Girardot. We are not far from going to Mars. Maybe farther ahead we can explore other planets.